Continue letting all of your friends know that we are starting here right now and the call is being recorded. My name is Shar. I'd like to be the first one to welcome you here tonight to our Tuesday Team Training and Inspiration Night. Give yourself a pat on the back for saying yes and being prepared to put yourself in the position to win, friends. Showing up is 9/10 of the win, and being ready to receive and absorb while participating is the next one. Super excited to be able to introduce to you tonight, the world traveler himself. I have to say, I've known this gentleman for quite some time and observed from afar as he's grown through life. He is a husband, a dad, incredible family. He's got a background. So I'm a retired military veteran on the flight medicine side. He comes from the water side of the house. So his skill set is a little lower down on the water and mine's up in the air doing some things. And when we work together, an incredible, incredible career him and both his wife had. They met in that former life and decided to partner together to create life as a family and life here to impact and deal hope for the masses. So please help me welcome to the stage none other than the world traveler himself, Mr. Josh Valentine. Give it up. Let's go.
What is going on, Viago family? Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Shar. Really, really appreciate you and happy to be here with you all. As always, we've got a lot of value that we're going to be sharing here tonight. So take notes all throughout this session. Take notes as if you're going to have to teach your team this information. Take notes because note takers are history makers. The weakest ink is stronger than the strongest memory. So you absolutely want to take notes throughout this session. In fact, you guys are in for a treat here tonight because I'm going to be sharing with you some of the most legendary notes that I've taken throughout my journey in this amazing profession. I've been in this profession now for almost 15 years, and it's crazy to think that it allowed me to retire when I was just 24 years young. I had a high six-figure income, went to a military college, and was doing very well as a maritime captain, had a Coast Guard license to operate ships. And I was one of those guys that was doing very well financially, but I was time broke. And to make matters worse, my wife and I were in the same industry. So we were looking for something else. And we started building our businesses part-time while working our jobs full-time. And by the time my wife and I were 24, we fired our bosses and never looked back. And life has been absolutely a blessing. This industry has taken us to all the wonders of the world, all of the inhabited continents. It's allowed us to do a lot of philanthropy, like building schools in third world countries. Many of you know that we're the parents of the V-Bros. We get to not only homeschool our 3 boys, but we get to world school them. We just got back from Africa on a VIP escape with them. So this has been our life, guys. It's been absolutely incredible just working with so many amazing people over the years. So I'm really excited to share some of the company announcements as well as some nuggets that I'm going to be dropping tonight. A lot of exclusive content that you guys are going to be hearing here tonight. So again, take some notes. So let's jump right into it. And I'm going to be pulling up some slides. Hopefully you guys will be able to see all of my slides okay, and also hear the sound. So Shar, if at any point you're not able to see my slides, just let me know and we'll get it all worked out. I'm going to pull up this slideshow. Okay, so
go for it.
Awesome. Appreciate you. All right, so here we go. For those of you who are new, welcome to our Viago family. This is our elite synergy system, our ecosystem, our training system, at least one of them. We also have our Viago Inner Circle, of course, where we absolutely recommend becoming a Viago Inner Circle member because that's where the most exclusive content is. But this is our free ecosystem that you always have available to you. Just hop over to elitesynergysystem.com and there's tons of material from training to our events calendar, PowerPoints, videos, and more. Now, for those of you who are not aware, we have an incredible event happening here in a couple of weeks. We're really excited. And as you guys can see, it's May 2nd to the 4th. That's the QR code. You could also hop over to viagoevents.com to be able to book your tickets. Now, I will say this. If you want to do this business at a very high level, there's something in the world of success referred to as modeling. And one thing that I had learned early on is that if you want to become successful, just model what the successful people are doing. And the one commonality across the board for people who are top producers in this profession is that they do not miss events. They do not miss events. And I'm one of those people. I do not miss events. I remember my wife gave birth to our second child. His name is Ari. And Ari was born, and literally within 3 hours of him being born, I was hopping on a flight down to Miami to catch a national event. What is your excuse? Some of you are probably like, Josh, that's a bit extreme. I promise you, my wife gave me the green light and she was in her right mind. And, but it was absolutely worth it, because at that event, we had so many of our leaders that we had worked with over the years, and they were walking stage, and it was important for us to be there to really represent for our team and to support our team. So we do not miss events. And if you want to win at the highest levels, do not miss any events. Okay. Moving forward. Now, we have a phenomenal webinar that's going to be happening tomorrow. Save the time. It's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And this is going to be everything Viago Health, plus the Clearwater benefits. Okay, so you guys are going to be able to get a lot of phenomenal information on here, and a lot of incredible value that you're going to get from this aspect of our membership. So I would highly recommend jumping on. You have to become a student of your product. You have to become a student of our business. And one of the ways you do that is, of course, getting the education. The last thing you want is for a prospect to ask you, hey, how does this Viago Health thing work? And you're clueless as to how it works. So my recommendation is jump on this webinar. Get the information. I'm sure we'll probably have a recording. I can't make any promises, but if you can jump on, definitely do so. Now, we have tons of presentations that are happening every single day. I even have one that happens every single day. And just hop over to elitesynergysystem.com/events, and you'll get all of the presentations that are happening throughout the course of the week. Okay, so moving forward, as you guys can see, these opportunity presentations, I definitely recommend the ones with, of course, Jesse Mack. We have Sherry Sharman and Muzaffar Nashvi. All of our presenters are incredible. Shar even has her own presentation, but I would definitely hop on. As you guys can see, these specifically are hosted Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Monday and Wednesday are 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday it's 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, now, in terms of the Amplify event, again, it's going to be in Atlanta. Really, really excited for that, because as you can see here in this flyer, not only do you have Eric Grzybowski, Matt Morris, Jesse McPherson, Muzaffar Nashvi, Jen O'Burt, Franco Villarreal, Patrick Newkirk, Downtown Troy Brown. We have so many phenomenal heavy hitters, but of course you have my wife. I mean, come on, if that's all you came for, it would absolutely be worth it. Now, I know, of course, I'm a little biased here, but it's my wife. And for the very first time, you guys will be able to hear her at this Amplify event. And every last one of these trainers are incredible. Many of them have mentored me over the course of the years, and it's going to be an amazing event, guys. So I'm excited because we have a phenomenal lineup of speakers. So to get us kickstarted, we have the one and only Mr. Franco Villarreal. And Franco is definitely a legend in this profession. And I believe he shared a little clip here just talking about the next event. So let's see if we can pull it up for you guys. Hopefully you can see it. All right, let's see if this plays. All right. Oh, let me just make sure. For some reason, I'm not seeing the play feature on here. I'm not sure if I'm doing anything wrong. I just want to make sure. Shar, if there's anything I'm missing, let me know. But I do not see an actual play feature to be able to play a sound. So worst case scenario, we'll get this over to you guys. But yeah, perhaps
it's already posted on all of the big team threads as well. So you can go find it in those threads and hear Franco yourself.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So yes, this video is the one you're going to be looking out for on the team pages. Okay, so you'll see one. You'll also see one with my wife. You have Patrick Newkirk, and I believe he just created a video as well. So you guys are more than welcome. Hop over to the team pages. You'll see this video as well. Now, When it comes to the national event, typically we have reservations or just a block of rooms that are booked out. And guys, we're sold out. So these are good problems, of course. And we're completely sold out of rooms. However, there are a lot of rooms in the surrounding areas. So my recommendation is get plugged into your leadership, and they'll be able to fill you in on some of the hotels that are nearby that are incredible. So here we go. Now, this is the actual event that's going to be happening, the agenda. So as you can see, on Thursday, we're going to get kickstarted with a Sapphire and above leadership meeting. So you have to be 50 square and above. You still have some time for those of you who aren't 50 square as yet. At 7 p.m., we're going to be having an opportunity meeting. And at 7:30 is the start time. Friday, we're going to be having a club fit workout. These are a lot of fun. I've done a few of them. I hosted a few of them doing some yoga in the past. They're a lot of fun, but we always have different types of club fit workouts going on. And we have a breakout session from 2 to 4. And we have an Inner Circles, a Night Under the Stars party. It's going to be an all-white party. So you guys are going to want to be in attendance, and you have to be an active Inner Circle member. Now, on Saturday, we have another club fit workout followed by the actual training event from 10 to 6:30 p.m. Sunday, we have our Club Fit workout. We have an optional church service for those of you who are, into church. And then we have from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., we have another training, okay? And then lastly, on Monday, we have a community day, and we'll be sharing some more information on that. So this is the full agenda of the entire week, and it's going to be an incredible time. So here is the flyer for the all-white party. Screenshot this if you have to. And it's going to be incredible. All of our parties are a vibe. As you can see, we're going to have a cash bar, DJ, all of that good stuff. But it's going to be happening again from 7 to 10 p.m. Now, we have some phenomenal promotions going on. The first one is the Viago, the launch triple play bonus. Now, my wife and I, if you guys remember, we actually won this bonus. The first 60 days of being in the company, we landed on the leaders board. And we were #1 in the month of November. And guys, it was an extra $6,000 for being first place. Like, we had 27 points and we were first place on the leaders board, and an extra $6,000 on top of all the other bonuses that we made. So right now, my recommendation is, if you guys want to get your money up in this season, then get in the game, okay? Also, we have a double cycles bonus going on, where instead of earning $50 for each cycle, you will be earning $100 for each cycle. So the way it works is you have 4 points left, 4 points right, you get paid a cycle bonus, okay? And for every single launch pack, you get 2 points. So that's 2 launch packs on your left team, 2 launch packs on your right team, and that triggers a $100 cycle, which is pretty amazing. So really, really exciting stuff. Now, we have our current triple play leaderboard happening right now. Shout out to Zimbabwe. Look at Zimbabwe is just smoking everybody. Shout out to Gladys out in Zimbabwe. We have Cheryl out in the US. At #2, we have Benson from Uganda at #3. Shout out to all the Africa markets. And as you can see, the US is rocking. We even have one of our leaders. I'm a little biased, of course, but I got to shout out Lisa Burton. She's on our team, phenomenal leader, and all of the other leaders that are currently on the leaders board. So yes, congratulations to those of you who are currently on there. Keep pushing, because we still have a whole lot of time to get more people on there. Now, as you guys know, we have the Get 6 promo. So Get 6 personals, you have a free membership. And there's currently a widget right in your back office that will show you exactly how many personals that you have. And if you have at least 6, all 6 of those circles will be highlighted, okay? So now, if you get your 6, here's what's cool. For those of you who've never walked the stage, you will have the opportunity to walk the stage if you get your 6. So why not? Every single person on this call right now has the opportunity to get at least 6 personals, even if you don't have any personals at the moment. But get 6, get on stage. And one thing that I can assure you, it's really good for your business, because your team will see that you're playing full out, that you're on stage. A lot of your prospects, think about it. When you reach out to prospects, they'll see pictures of you on stage, and they'll see you doing some incredible things within our company. So Every single person on this call should be getting their 6. Now, I believe that is the very last slide that we have for you guys. And I'm excited because we're about to jump into the meat and potatoes of today's training here. Okay, so hopefully you guys took some notes on all of those incredible announcements, and let's jump right into today's training. Now, to get started, I want to cater to the brand new person really quick. Before we jump into some of you seasoned folks, I want to get into some training when it comes to some of you new folks who are in. Let's see here. For some reason, I'm seeing a whiteboard. Let me see. Okay, perfect. I think we're all good. So for the new people, my recommendation, right? If you're bringing in somebody who's new in this business, then you are their sponsor. And the word sponsor, I had learned early on, is short for responsibility, right? I don't know if it's actually short for responsibility, but it does have a nice ring to it. So when you think of being a sponsor, think of being responsible, not for your new person's success, but for getting that new person started right, for equipping them in the right way. That's what you're responsible for. Okay, so when you get someone started, my recommendation is the moment you bring someone in, help them navigate through their membership site. Teach them the site because you want them to see value right away. Remember, most of us aren't necessarily building with tangible products right away. So the last thing you want is for your new person to have buyer's remorse because they're like, what in the world did I just buy? But if you can show them value from the very beginning, then they feel like they have a lot more peace of mind because they could actually see the value. They can see their points. They can see some of the trips. They can see how they can utilize the membership every single day through our daily deals program and so much more. So that's the first thing. Help them navigate through their site. Help them set up their direct deposit if you can on their back office, all of that good stuff. Secondly, have them write out a list of a minimum 20 people. Some leaders will say, have them write out a list of at least 200 names. From my personal experience, most people are not going to go through 200 names. Most people aren't even going to go through 20 names. So I usually just start out with 20 names. Their very best 20 prospects. I like to call it their hit lists, right? These are the people that they feel would be most likely to sign up if they show them the information, the people that are within their what we call white hot market. These are possibly people that they do life with, people that they may have texted over the last few days or may have been in communication with, but these are the people that they want to have on their top 20 list. Now, when it comes to just doing exposures, there's a saying in this industry that you can't show the right information to the wrong person, or you can't show the wrong information to the right person, right? That's the correct saying. You can't show the wrong information to the right person. But here's the thing. You can show the right person the wrong way. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. You can show the right person the wrong way. What do I mean by that? What do I mean you can show the right person the wrong way? Be very mindful that if you are going to meet with someone, for example, in person, right? You have to look presentable. You have to look like if you're talking about abundance, if you're talking about leading people to freedom, if you're talking about people liberating themselves financially, then, I mean, you don't have to wear no Louis Vuitton or Gucci, but look the part. Ask yourself, if you showed you this business, would you sign up under you? Think about that for a second. Let that marinate for a second. If you showed you this business, would you sign up under you? And if not, then why? Why wouldn't you sign up under you? So my recommendation is maybe you don't have the best credibility or you don't have a business reputation. Reinforce your credibility by the way that you carry yourself. Remember, the two things people are going to judge you off of the moment they meet you is number one, your appearance. Number two, the moment you open up your mouth and you start talking. So reinforce that by just looking the part. Okay, so when you show somebody the information, again, you can show the right person, but the wrong way. So that leads me to the second point, which is get your new people or get your new prospects in front of the leaders. Get them to speak, third-party validation, edify your leadership, and get them to talk to your leadership. Get them to see the presentation from an expert. Because if you're the one trying to show them, remember, you may not necessarily be all polished or have the right information, or you're just kind of like fumbling over your words or nervous, listen, we have tons of video presentations that you can show. We have tons of webinars going on. So the main thing is to show them the right way. Now, my recommendation is this: get on the phone with them. Professionals call, amateurs text. I've never seen anybody text someone and close them by text messaging them. I've never seen that. If someone is going to make a $500 decision, chances are they're going to want to talk to a human over the phone. Some of you suck so much at closing, you can't even close your damn door, right? Like, that's how terrible you are at closing. If you want to master closing, you have to pick up the phone. You have to pick up the phone. And you have to do the exposure the correct way. Directly after the exposure, if they watch a webinar, or let's just say they're seeing a push play video or something like that, maybe they talk to an upline leader. If the upline leader doesn't close them, it is your job to close them. And here's the thing. Do you know what is the #1 reason people don't sign up to our business? Can you take a wild guess? Drop a comment. What's the #1 reason you think people do not sign up to our business? It's because they're never asked. They're never asked. And I'll share one little trick that I use. For me, I do a color close. So I rarely will ask someone, are you ready to get started? I'll say things like, if I'm talking to a blue personality type, I'm like, hey, you ready to join us on the beaches of the world, or what? You ready to change lives, or what? That would be a yellow personality. If it's a red personality, I say, you ready to make this money, or what? I'm using my own language. Now, if they're a green, you can probably be just very direct, like, hey, are you ready to get started? You understand? But there's so many different ways that you can go about the close. I'll share one of my probably my favorite close. This is what I ask. Once I build rapport with them and I kind of get an idea of what's going on in their life, I'll ask them, based off of what you told me, like you told me that, let's just say they wanted more time freedom. Maybe they said they want to travel around the world. I just simply ask them at the end, what would stop you from giving this a shot? Let me ask you, what would stop you from giving this a shot? And they'll tell me their objection right then and there. Okay. So the first question that I would recommend asking directly after the presentation is, what did you like best? The travel or the business side, or both? It's kind of like a trick question, right? And then they may say the travel. And if they say the travel, then I say, okay, cool. You ready to join us on the beaches of the world, or what? If they say they like the business, so you ready to make this money, or what? Right? If they're like, hey, I really like the community. Okay, well, you ready to change some lives, or what? But I use my language, and sometimes I'll just say like, hey, what would stop you from giving this a shot? And it's a much better approach in my personal opinion. So whatever you're doing, keep in mind that if what you're doing is currently working for you, keep doing that. I'm just sharing some of my tools that have worked for me, worked so well that we built organizations of thousands of people from all over the world with some of these strategies. Now, when it comes to the new person, I just want to emphasize for the new person, listen, make sure that you are following up. So the moment I handle an objection, I remember a mentor of mine said there aren't like real objections. The main real objection is it real, right? Can I do it? And will you help me? Those are the 3 main objections. Is it real? Can I do it? Will you help me? And the vast majority of time, people don't join you in the business because they simply don't feel like they can do it. That's why it's important not to say too much. Less is more in this business, because if you start coming off very salesy, they're going to feel like they have to do the business like that. And over 90% of the population does not like to sell. They're freaked out by the idea of sales. So less is more in this business. Okay. So are you guys getting value so far? Drop a V. Drop a V for value if you're still with me. Okay, awesome, awesome. I got a lot more for y'all, by the way. I'm going to do my best to squeeze it all in here, but I have a lot of information. Let me see these wonderful faces, by the way. I'm going to do my best to pull all of you guys up. That way I can see everybody. Perfect. What's going on, family? All right, here we go. So I'm going to share with you, I'm excited because I'm going to be sharing with you some of the greatest notes that I've gotten from some of the most iconic people in this profession. You guys are going to get some of them tonight. Okay, so exclusive training here. Now, here we go. First and foremost, Remember this, we get paid to tell the story and build relationships. I always say that I'm in the friendship making business. That's the business that I'm in. I just make friends. I make a lot of friends in this business. Don't feel like what we do has to be cringe. Like, I've never lost a friend in this business. I've been in for almost 15 years. I've never lost any friends. If you're losing friends, you're probably doing it wrong. Right now, maybe your family may not be so supportive, but you shouldn't be losing friends in the process. I would hope not. So I'm in the friend collection business. Remember, we simply get paid to tell the story and build relationships. How amazing is that? Right? It's like the best occupation in the world. Next up, we have, it's easier to lead people than it is to push people. It is easier to lead people than to push people. Some of you are trying to push a wet noodle up a hill. Some of you are trying to push a dead bear up a tree, and you're going to burn yourself out. That's why you're getting frustrated, because you want it more for people than they want it for themselves. And it simply does not work like that. We are in the sorting business. And you have to sort through the people who are serious. Remember, 80% of people just simply aren't going to do what it takes. And that's in insurance, that's in real estate, that's in anything sales related, anything just dream related. How many people who pursue acting careers actually become actors that are highly paid or become athletes? How many people that go after their dreams? How many little kids all around the world who are aspiring athletes? What percentage of them don't make it to the major leagues, don't make it to the professional level? It's over 90%. So why are you so weird about what it is that we do? It's okay. You love them on the way in, you love them on the way out. That's just the way the business works, okay? Next up, you have to employ yourself. You have to employ yourself. Think about this. If you were in this business, if you had to employ you, how much would you pay you based on your current work ethic? Think about that for a second. How much would you be worth in the marketplace? If you paid you a salary to build your Viago business, what would your work ethic be worth? You see, some of you have to truly act as if you're employed. You don't treat this like a hobby. I treated my business like a job. Like a job. I show up to work. This is my profession. There's a fine line between being an amateur and being a professional. Too many of you haven't really made that leap to treating this like a profession. The moment you actually treat it like a job, then things will start to change for you. So you have to employ yourself. Next up, pretend like you just signed your application. Any of you remember how excited you were when you first signed your application? Any of you ever have that Viago insomnia? You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're so excited about your dreams that you can't even sleep through the night. Like, that's how excited you are. You have to keep that excitement alive. How do you keep it alive? You stay around the campfire. You come to all the training events. You plug into the inner circle. You have to stay around the campfire. You have to keep yourself excited in this business. Here's the next one. Put in that extra 10% of effort. Put in that extra 10%. Some of you, you may feel like, all you've got is 50%. Just go a little bit further. Whatever you're currently doing, just put in an extra 10% of effort, and you'll notice a significant difference. Next up, we have nothing will excite your business more than putting in 5 new personals. 5 new personals, preferably in a month. For those of you who want to get on stage, put in 6. Put in a cluster. Whenever I had to bring life into my business, right? What did I do? I put in a brand new cluster of personals. In 1 month, I'll put in, let's just say 3 to 6 personals. Remember, it's much easier to give birth than it is to raise the dead. So some of you are trying to raise the dead and get your people, your team to do something. But it's so much easier to just give birth. New blood is the lifeblood in this profession. Is that making sense, everybody? So next up, we have, here we go. Build a growing customer base. Build a growing customer base. The beautiful thing about members is that once you get them on a trip, they're all in. Like the likelihood, the retention is incredible for people who just experience one trip. So focus on continuously growing your customer base. Get your members as much value as you possibly can get, because what will happen is they'll become some of the biggest Viago raving fans. They'll be some of your biggest evangelists in this business. Like they'll go out and spread the word just because of the excitement. And they're not even in the business, right? So you grow a consistent customer base. That's a great, if you want solid residual income, you want sustainable residual income, continue to nurture that. Now, next up, we have come from the heart and give people the gift of prosperity. Come from the heart and give people the gift of prosperity. How many of us simply were never introduced to the world of personal development up until becoming a part of this industry? How many of us have never really been taught wealth principles? How many of us grew up in very humble beginnings? In this business, you have to, and I'm getting goosebumps even talking to you guys, because I was introduced to the world of prosperity in this profession. I had no millionaire mentors until coming into this profession. Give people the gift of personal development, give them the gift of prosperity. And I can assure you, it'll open up an entirely new world. It's like finding out you were in the Matrix. Anybody like go deep into this profession, and then you find out like, man, I really have been in the Matrix all this time. It really has been a rat race for me. And for the very first time, you're awakened and you're shown another way. And then you're excited and you get bit by the bug, and your whole world, your whole paradigm, your mental model of the world changes. Give people the gift of prosperity in this business. Next, we have, it's not about you, it's about the person in front of you. It's not about you. It's always about the person in front of you. Make it about them. So many of you are getting frustrated because you're just so caught up in what you can gain out of this. You're so caught up on your dreams, your goals, and that'll permeate through you. Come from a place of service, and people will sense that. Remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Next, we have the biggest shift in this business you'll ever make is from the head to the heart. It's from the head to the heart. Some of you are having paralysis of overanalysis, and you're thinking too much. And I had learned early on that ignorance on fire is much better than intellect on ice. Ignorance on fire is much better than intellect on ice. You have to be out there like when we launched within the first 90 days, my wife and we were just wild. We were like wild people from morning to midnight every single day. We were relentless. There was no intellect involved. It was all heart. It was all passion. It was all just desire. And some of you are too caught up in your head. You're trying to quantify everything. But this business is about the heart. You got to get your heart all over the bar, like in pole vaulting. You know, you have to get your heart over the bar, and the body will follow. Next, we have keep it really simple. Remember, less is more. Some of you are probably doing a little too much, and you have to go back to the basics. There are a lot of fundamentals in this business, and you have to keep it as simple as possible. Why is that? Because again, if you complicate it, if you make it super complex, your prospects are going to feel like it's also complicated. Do you know what I tell my new signups? I say, look, get me in front of 20 people. Get me in front of 20 people. That's it. Like, don't focus on anything else. Just focus on your next 20. That's how simple. Sometimes when I have a teammate who's not doing anything, I'm like, just focus on getting me in front of one. Let's just focus on the next one. That's how simple we keep it. If those of you who do the three-way text, right? I have teammates of mine who I'm currently working with, and they'll just put me in a three-way text, and they'll just have me set up the meeting with their prospect, right? Just keeping it very, very simple. Less is more. Next, we have look at people like a doorway, not a destination. Look at people like a doorway, not a destination. So many of you are out there in the field and you're getting all gung-ho excited because you're thinking about how this person can make you rich. You're thinking about how this person can help you get to the next rank, right? And you have to remember that people are human. This is a relationship building. So this is not traditional sales where the sale ends at the transaction. No, after the transaction is made, that is the beginning of the relationship. It's not the end of it. So many people say, well, I don't want to do sales. Good. We're not looking for salespeople. I know a lot of salespeople who suck at this profession. Why is that? Because it's not traditional sales. It's just not. Once the transaction is done, that begins the relationship. It's relationship marketing. That's what it is more than anything. Next, we have, you will go through different stages and cycles in your business. Don't get frustrated when you're having a plateau, when you're in a down season, maybe you're in a temporary drought. Don't get all caught up in the frustrations. Get fascinated with your frustrations. Like genuinely get fascinated. Like, what's going on here? I'm curious, right? But understand that you will go through different stages. I remember hearing early on in my career, there was a woman who walked stage, and this was the one takeaway that I got from the event that was so profound. She said, you will go through everything there is to go through before you make it to the top of this business. And boy, was she right. We went through everything there was to go through. So think about that. Us as leaders, we go through so many different challenges, so many different obstacles. It's always funny to me when people are like, they're making these complaints about just business, and it's like, you know, complaining about the growing pains. In my mind, I'm like, what do you think traditional entrepreneurship is like? This is probably the easiest form of entrepreneurship. You don't have to worry about human resources and legalities and product development and all of this. Like, all you are responsible for is telling the story and building relationships. What are you complaining about? You understand? So that's also something that you have to remember. Here's another thing. The walls of Jerusalem was rebuilt 17 times. 17 times. I think I'm on my 17th time rebuilding this thing. I don't know. I'm sure Sherry probably, is well over a dozen. We most certainly have had our ups and our downs, but the beautiful thing about our profession is that it's like a faithful lover. No matter how much you neglect her, she'll always be there waiting for you when you're ready to pick up where you left off. So don't beat up on yourself. Remember, the walls of Jerusalem were rebuilt 17 times. No matter how much your business may go backwards, you could always rebuild it again. Isn't that amazing? You could always rebuild it again. Some of us have been in this profession for, a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, and have been rebuilding. The thing about it is you learn the skills. And once you learn the skills, you can do it again. Okay. Next up, we have love your ambassadors, whether they're doing a little or a lot. Love your ambassadors, whether they're doing a little or a lot. In the words of Jim Rohn, some will do 90, some will do 60, some will do 30. Don't try to get the 30 to do 90. If you're wondering, well, why can't they do 90? In the words of Jim Rohn, I wouldn't take that class if I were you. I wouldn't take that class if I were you. Don't worry about that. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. You love them where they are. If they're only, at 30%, listen, stop trying to push this business down their throat. It's just not going to work. If anything, they're going to get turned off. They're going to get turned off. I want you to ask yourself this. For those of you with an actual downline, if Viago gave your downline the ability to re-choose their upline, how much of your downline would stay with you? Isn't that something? If Viago, I'll say that for those of you in the back, because some of you didn't catch that. I know some of you are like, man, he's just like poking all kinds of buttons here tonight. If Viago gave your downline the ability to re-choose their upline, how much of your downline would stay with you? And the thing is that when you're leading people, again, you have to love on people. People are human beings. They're not robots. They're not your children. They're not your employees. They came in this to own their lives. They didn't come in this to have a tyrant over their back or a boss on their back, right? The whole point is for them to be able to fire their boss one day, not have another boss. Okay, so you're no one's boss. Your job is to, lock arms with them and say, hey, I'm with you. Let's do this. Let's do this together. I got your back, right? That's what your job is. Next, we have grow me, serve you. Grow me, serve you. That's the idea. You're growing yourself so you have more of a capacity to give. Growing and giving. That's what this whole journey is all about. It's a spiritual journey. You're simply growing yourself so you have more of a capacity to serve. The word responsibility means your ability to respond. Your ability to respond to setbacks, to crises, to obstacles, to struggles. How do you respond? A leader is someone who can bring certainty to an environment where there is none. That's what a leader is. So the idea is to grow me so that I can serve you. Next up, we have learn how to master major events. Learn how to master major events. Man, how many of y'all are getting gold? If you want some more gold, say, give me the gold. Give me the gold. Give me the gold. Let me get some finger snaps over here. I can see all of you. Give me the gold. You guys are getting all the good stuff here tonight. I don't know. I think I might need to stop right now. There's still so much more. I may have to save this for another call. I don't know. Okay, I see a lot of give me the golds. All right, we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. Learn how to master major events. I remember learning early on that there's a statistic across the industry that for every person that you get to a national event, it's going to equate to about $1,000 in income for the year. So if you get 10 people at a national event, what does that equate to an income for the year? It's about $10,000. If you want to make 6 figures in this profession, how many people do you need at the nationals? It probably would be wise to get about 100. Every 6-figure earner that I know, they got to 6 figures when they started getting about 100 people out to the national events. So it's not rocket science. In fact, promoting national events is probably the highest paid skill in this profession, because your business is going to grow proportionate to the amount of people that you have at these national events. If you want to grow your income, ask yourself, how many people am I getting to the national events? You know what's happening for those of you who've been in this for quite some time and you're wondering, why isn't this happening for me? It's because you're coming alone. Or you're coming with the same squad. You don't have a team, you have a squad. If you're coming with like 3 or 4 people, humble yourself. It is a squad. You haven't earned the right to say you have a team yet. So you have to transcend just coming with your squad and bring an actual team out to these events. Do whatever it is that you can. Get creative, get resourceful. That's what entrepreneurship is about. There is no shortage of resources. There is just a shortage of resourcefulness. There is no such thing as a shortage of resources, especially if you're in America. Come on, if we have people in Uganda and Zimbabwe, third world countries where people don't even make $300 in a month and they're still figuring this out, what's our excuse? Next up, we have how you show up is the level your team shows up. The speed of the pack is based off of the speed of the lead wolf. If you're a yellow in this business, chances are you're going to attract a yellow team. If you're a little bit on the aggressive side, you're probably going to attract a lot more people on the aggressive side. Now, can you be a yellow that's also kicking ass and taking names? Absolutely. You definitely can, right? I've seen it. I've seen introverts become multimillionaires in this business. Don't think that just because you're an introvert that you can't make money here. I've seen some of the best people in this business go on to do incredible things. Still waters run deep. And there are a lot of phenomenal leaders in this profession that don't like talking to people. I'll share this with you. When I go to the gym, I don't talk to anyone in the gym. Anybody work out and you just do not like talking to people in the gym? Like, you know, you're there with your headphones. You don't even want to make eye contact because you don't want them coming up to you to spark a conversation. That's me. That's me. I don't want to talk to anyone in the gym. I want to do, that's like my sanctuary. I want to do my own thing and just, I want to listen to my audios, right? So there's hope for you. There is hope for you. Okay, so next up, we have never let comfort get in the way of your calling. So good. Never let comfort get in the way of your calling. Remember, your comfort zone is your broke zone. It's just the way it is. If you want to be comfortable, by all means, go for it. I remember hearing an interview by Jeff Bezos. He said, you can go and live a life of comfort and security, or you can go and live a life of service and adventure. Nothing wrong. Both paths can be incredible paths for you. The question is, when you are laying on your deathbed, which life will you be more proud of? Which life will you be more proud of? The life of comfort and security, or the life of service and adventure? Super important to understand that, because success requires sacrifice. And it's going to be a continuous journey of taking up your cross for other people and sacrificing on a consistent basis. That's just the way this industry works. It is a path that requires you to really step up to the plate and lead people. Okay, next up, we have, it's easier to make a fortune than it is to make a living. It is easier to make a fortune than it is to make a living. I don't know about you all, but I've been broke, I've been rich, you know, I've been a poor man, I've been a wealthy man. And one thing that I can assure you, they're both hard. They're both hard. The question is, which hard are you going to choose? You choose your hard. They're both hard paths. And in fact, I would say that there's no pain worse than just being in survival. When you have your kids who want to do things and you can't even pay to be able to do things for your kids, or your family member has medical bills that you can't cover because you just don't have it, right? There's nothing more painful than that. There's nothing more painful than spending a Christmas where, you know, you're used to buying gifts and now you're there and you can't even buy a gift. You like, there's nothing in my experience like just going through that, especially as a man, being stripped of your dignity because you just don't have it. It is one of the worst feelings that you could possibly ever imagine. And I'm telling you, as someone who has grown up in poverty, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to grow up in government assistance. I know what it's like to build wealth at the highest levels. And I'll choose wealth every day, all day. Every day, all day. It's so much better. Next up, there is a science of achievement and an art to fulfillment. So achievement is a science, fulfillment is an art. And remember, in our profession, it is a science and an art. It is simultaneously both. So you have to learn the fundamentals of achievement in this business. It's all science. It's all math. If you asked us, how in the world did you do in 5 weeks what took you to do 5 years in your first company? What was the difference? It was the skill. It was going through the numbers just as fast, or even way faster. Remember, fast is fun, slow sucks. So you have to go fast in this business, because if you go fast, you're not going to hear as much noise. Remember, this business is also, on top of financial residual, it will also pay you an emotional and spiritual revenue. There is emotional and spiritual residual as well in this business. There's so much value. Don't get so caught up in making the money where you end up missing the magic. So many of you are missing the magic because you're so caught up in making the money. Here's another. Long-term relationships equal long-term success. Long-term relationships equal long-term success. When I bring people in, I let them know, like, look, I'm not bringing you in just to do business with you. I'm bringing you in to do life with you. I'm bringing you in to do life with you. We're in this like for the long haul. So focus on nurturing that relationship. Next, we have people will never forget the way you made them feel. People will never forget the way you made them feel. You guys may remember some of the things that I said, but you'll never forget the moment I triggered an emotion out of you. I remember hearing early on in my career, you own the man's heart, you own the man. You own the man's heart, you own the man. You want to go deep with people in this business. There's just something about that human to human connection. Next, we have stay in the engagement, not the entitlement. Man, we're poking some buttons here. And I know we're winding down, guys. Bear with me a few more. Stay in the engagement, not in the entitlement. Stay in personal productivity mode. It'll be the best thing that you possibly do in this business. So many people get entitled. So many people get caught up in what they did, you know, back when Clinton was in office. Like nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn about what you did back in the day. It's like so irrelevant. You know, that was a completely different world. Times have changed. We're in the here and now. And you better back up what you're talking these days. That's why for my wife and I, we had a point to prove. You know, we didn't want to be those has-beens. We didn't want to be those people, oh yeah, they hit the top rank in that other company. Like that story became old. It was, you know, in New York, we use the word corny a lot, right? It was lame, you know, just constantly say, yeah, we did some incredible things over there, but that story is old. It's what we're doing today. And we wanted to back up what we were talking. Next, we have, what would you have to do to make this business more important to you? Reflect on that question tonight. What do you have to do to make this business more important to you? And as we get ready to wrap up, I have two more. Repetition leads to integration. Repetition leads to integration. Repetition is the mother of all skill. If you want to get good, just continuously do it. There's a saying that the person with the clicker gets paid quicker, right? The person with the clicker makes all the money. Why is that? Because of repetition, 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 and it becomes integration. Last but not least, put others' needs ahead of your own. In this business, make it about the person in front of you. That's really what it comes down to. Don't get so caught up in your ego, because what if you are the reason someone never got their shot? What if you are the reason someone will never get their shot because you made it all about you and your ego? You were so caught up in being rejected that you robbed someone of their dream, right? So my recommendation as we get ready to launch into Amplify in Atlanta is that, guys, go on a run. I mean, you could always reset this business. You could always restart. Tomorrow, I'm literally launching a brand new 21-day challenge, 10 prospects a day for 21 days. That's over 200 reach outs in 21 days. I'm still doing this, and our team is doing this. Get locked in. Every single day, you have an opportunity to start from scratch. If you want to win at the highest levels, block out your calendar. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So if you really, really are serious about taking this business to the next level, set a quota for yourself. Every single day, know exactly how many people you're going to reach out to, because clarity of intention equals power. You can't hit a target that you can't see. And too many of you are not following through because reaching out to people is easy to do, but it's easier not to do. And that's why you're not doing it. It's easier not to do. So when life is lifing and your bills are billing, and there's more month at the end of the money, and you're going through it emotionally, right? Chances are you're probably not going to do what you know, you're going to do what you feel. And let's be honest, how many of us are always in the mood to get rejected? So you have to discipline your disappointments. You have to get into a space where you go from being an amateur to being a professional. Engineer your environment so that it's conducive to showing the information, to sharing the story, and building relationships. Viago family, my time is done with you. God bless every last one of you. I hope that you got value from this training here today. I hope you heard some new things for the very first time, and I look forward to seeing you guys in Atlanta. This will probably be the last Tuesday training I do, leading into Atlanta. So I can't wait to see all of you guys. Can't wait to hug you. Make sure you come and say hi. Don't be shy. I'm very approachable. So you guys are more than welcome to connect. I look forward to seeing many of you walk that stage. Let's make it happen. Take care and God bless, guys.